Good morning. I'm about 20-30 minutes from my campsite where I spent the night last night. Actually, I think I slept better last night than any other night. There was one other person at my campsite. Horse Trough Mountain. I don't know the elevation, but it was a very lonely night. There was one other person there, but he was going southbound, and my hiking partner went on ahead. She made 5 more miles than I did yesterday. I just didn't have that in me. And so I'm having a lot of doubts this morning. I'm stopping for water here. Oh, I'll turn the camera around. But gonna stop and fill up water and try to make it to Hiawassee today. Let's see if I can show you the water. Isn't that just beautiful? Just coming right down. Right down. It's just lovely. Just beautiful. I do enjoy it out here. I do enjoy the being in such wilderness and the views and the sights and the walking in the woods and all that. Is just a very lonely thing to do, so I don't know. Stand by, I'll keep you posted. I know I've shown you these tunnel sections before, but here I am again. I've got it zoomed in. I don't want it to be. It's pretty cool. That's where I came from. The same, straight up that hill, all the way up, all the way. So let's walk a bit, and you can come with me if I can manage 2 trekking poles. Hold on. All right, here we go. All right. My foot's got a little tweak in it, but it's all right. I'm walking through it. I stopped a couple times and flexed it, and that makes it worse, apparently. So, not doing that anymore. I'm going to keep walking. I feel like I'll walk out of it. My knee is absolutely 100%, so I figured it would be after a couple days rest, but you never know about those things. Didn't know if I would really need a 3rd day of rest, but didn't want to do that. Anyway, I'll keep you with me until we get out of this tunnel and we see where we're going. Well, there's a little bit of a view. See the mountains up there? I don't think I have to climb those. I don't know. I haven't looked at FarOut in a while, but it will tell me, you know, if I'm going up or down or sideways. I just haven't checked it in a few minutes. One of my issues that makes me go slower than a lot of other people is that I guess I a little bit of fidgeting. I stop, take a breather, then I stop a while later, take a sip of water, then I stop a while later and check the FarOut, and then I stop a while later and just breathe, and then I come along a stump or a fallen tree and I sit down. So I'm stopping like, at least every 15-20 minutes I'm stopping, completely stopping and doing something or other. And I'm trying to be more efficient. When I stop to take a drink of water, check the FarOut, you know, take pictures, take video, whatever I'm going to do, and then keep walking for longer stretches. But I don't know. Partial ADD too. I'll set off and I'll say, I forgot to check FarOut. I wonder how far that water is. Where's the next tent spot? Or where's the next shelter? Or how far have I gone? All different questions. But anyway, FarOut is a wonderful thing. Tells me absolutely everything I want to know. And when I get to the town of Hiawassee, which is about 7 miles from where I camped, I think I've been maybe a mile. Don't know, I didn't check. But they have free shuttles into the town of Hiawassee. Some trail towns along the trail do that because it brings in business. So they have like 3 shuttles a day and they're free, which is great. I don't know what they look like. On the FarOut app it shows a little minibus, but I don't know. I don't know. I will find out. Water. Oh, more water. Oh, look at that. Just beautiful. Just beautiful. All right. I think, look at that, a cruisy bit. I'm going to put you away, take both trekking poles in hand, and try to make up a minute or two of my time. See you in a while. I got 1.5 miles of this all up to get to Blue Mountain Shelter. Whew! And I've already been climbing for, what time is it? It's like 11:30, I think. So I've been climbing in little bits of level, like I was showing you before, but it's all been a gradual climb. And I'm pooped. I've stopped a couple times. A couple people have passed me. I'm going very slow. I don't even know that I'm making 1 mile an hour, especially going uphill like this, but plugging away. See you at the top. I'm just seriously thinking about packing it in here. I don't know. I just, without Jenny, without anybody else, I mean, there are people. I'm not alone, but I don't have any partners or friends or, you know, I've made friends, but they were gone off. So, no one to hike with. And this morning in the tent, had a pretty decent night, actually. Put the Waltons Christmas movie on the phone and listened to that to go to sleep, so I wouldn't jump at every single noise. Slept decently. It was about 29, I guess, this morning. Cold. And that's when it really hit me. When I woke up this morning and the sun was, light was coming up. The sun was not yet. And I was just thinking, it was about 7-ish, somewhere, give or take. And I said, I gotta get up and get rock and rolling because I got a lot of miles to do today. And that's one of the hard parts that I didn't bargain for, is getting right up out of bed and packing up is an absolute workout. It really is. Stuffing your sleeping bag back in and putting everything away and packing up your tent and all your stuff, and whether you make breakfast or not, that's kind of the easy part because that's all in one container, so to speak, usually. But and sometimes you don't want to make breakfast because you want to get going. It's so cold and or windy, you don't want to stop. So you get hiking, get a few miles under you, get warmed up, then stop. When the sun is up a lot better, you find a place to stop. I've done that a number of times and that works out well. But today, I just knew I needed the fortification and I needed the time. So I had my workout of putting everything away, packing it all up, and then sat and had oatmeal and a couple of aspirin and cup of coffee and talked to my tent site neighbor a few minutes. I'm sorry if I'm making you drunk on this, but anyway, I wanted to show you that it's not all cruisy bits. This is up, up, up. This camera, this phone does not do it justice at all. I think Blue Mountain Shelter is, well, 1.5 miles from here. I don't know. It's probably going to be over this rise and up another rise. So, lots of climbing for the next 1.5 miles, which will probably take me about 2 hours. Anyway, this morning was very hard, as I was saying. When I woke up and it was cold, I was warm. I start out the night, my nose gets cold, so I cover it and I can't breathe and I take it out. And then I cover it and I can't breathe and I take it out. And I keep going like that until eventually enough heat, just enough, builds up in that tent so that I don't have to cover my nose and I'm fine. And I'm warm as toast in that sleeping bag and in that tent. Because the tent is not like the canvas tents we grew up with. Whew, we had a cabin tent growing up for all of us. Our whole family would go camping. Slept on the ground. We didn't have mats or anything like that. Sleeping bags on the ground. But anyway, that tent does block the wind pretty well. So it's really nice. It's better than the shelters on a windy night. Warmer, much warmer. So none of that was the bad part. It's just, imagine waking up in the morning and you stretch and think for about 2 or 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes even, whatever, however many minutes you want to lay there and think about it. Then you've got to get up and go to work immediately. Get right up out of bed and get dressed and start working. Imagine you lived in a gym and you had to immediately go start a workout. That's what it's like, and it's yucky. It's just yucky. If I had somebody with me, if Jenny was with me, and not just Praiser. You know, Praiser was great, just absolutely wonderful. She stayed with me 2 days, 2 zeros, and she was such a blessing. And Praiser, if you're watching, from the bottom of my heart, 10 times over, I thank you, because you were truly a godsend, and you helped me tremendously when I needed it. But Praiser is gone on doing her own hike, and she's much faster. She did all this yesterday, so she was at least 5 hours ahead of me by the end of the day. But without Jenny, without someone hiking at my pace who's gonna, you know, be with me, it's a very lonely thing to do. It really is. I mean, I don't mind like this, hiking alone. I really don't mind it. If Jenny were here, she'd be behind me or ahead of me, and we wouldn't be doing a lot of talking. But we might, you know, whistle to each other and say, hey, I need to stop, or that type of thing, you know. And we would stop and have a lunch, or we'd agree at a point to stop ahead, and we'd meet there, and that sort of thing. But without that, I don't know. I'm not enjoying it. I'm enjoying pieces, the scenery, the people, and stuff like that. Let me turn you around a little bit. Yeah, I'm enjoying some things. I mean, it's still wonderful being out here in the woods, and I stop and marvel at the scene out in front of me a lot of times. But everything else, the work. Somebody said the last couple of days, one of the hikers said, it's a job. You get up and go to work every day. And that really is what it's like. Only when you get up and go to work, you can plan to have your coffee and your breakfast and whatever else you do, and sit around and maybe take a shower or whatever, pick your clothes out, get dressed. You know, you ease into that work stuff. This you don't. Bond right out of bed, go to work. And then you work all day. And then setting up at night isn't quite as bad, because you're just taking everything out and sprawling it everywhere, and set your tent up and eat and then get in it. You might have a little camaraderie there and conversation, but when they say hike or midnight is around 8, it's been around 7 actually from what I've experienced, but time change and all might be 8. But that's it. It's work. It's work. And I'm just, it's not fun. Just not fun. It's amazing. It's incredible. I feel very proud of what I've done so far, but here's the thing too. I know I can do better. I know I'm capable of better. I was just ill-prepared. I was naive. So now I'm not naive. So if I don't carry on, at least I'll know how to go home and regroup and come at it stronger. So I don't know. I'm going to get to this shelter and probably make a decision. I'll keep you posted. Well, there it is in all its glory. The Blue Mountain Privy. Don't you just love it? Chick-a-boom, chick-a-boom. Don't you just love it? All right. Sorry. I promise not to sing anymore. But I thought I'd show you around this mountaintop in this shelter where I just had a nice lunch of quinoa and beans. A little bit of spice to it. It's pretty good. And mixed up another thing of electrolytes. So a couple more aspirin. I got 2.5 miles down to the bottom, down to parking area, trailhead, and I've officially tapped out. I'm officially going home. I called Bruce. He's coming to get me, my husband, and he will meet me at that, well, in Hiawassee. There are free shuttles into Hiawassee from that trailhead, so we're just going to meet in town somewhere, and I'm going home. I don't feel bad right now, but that was one, pardon my French, hell of a climb. And I just, everybody but everybody passed me, and I'm just not 100%. So there's really no sense prolonging this. I've learned a lot. I know what to do differently, and I think what might happen, very pretty up here, what might happen, one idea that I'm having and bouncing back and forth with Jenny is take a couple weeks, let Jenny get through her surgery, see how her recovery is going to go, and come at this down the road a little bit. We may, I may come back on trail in a couple of weeks, and then she can join me a couple of months down the road, and we'll finish together, and then she can flip-flop and come back and do the southern part. Maybe. It's one idea. I will definitely keep you all posted. I'm sorry to disappoint you. I know people have been watching, and I've really thoroughly loved all the support and the positive vibes and comments and all of that. I really do. But don't count me down and out yet. But this is a pause. I'm hitting the pause. Thank you all very much for everything. Well, hello. I am here to update y'all. I'm home. I came home that day after hiking down off of Blue Mountain. Did that all in one day, and coming down was really, really hard. I thought going up was hard, but coming down was hard too. And how I did it in one day, I don't know. But that's one of the things I learned. I am going back in about a week. I'm going back on trail. But in the meantime, I want to catch you up with what has happened to me. When I said I wasn't 100%, there was some honest to goodness truth to that. I checked in with my doctor. When I first got home, I started having heart palpitations, and my foot did not get better. So I went to my doctor after a couple of days, because you know, that stubborn thing, and had x-rays and an EKG and a heart monitor and all that kind of stuff. My foot really felt like it was fractured. It still does, although it's getting better. It's not 100% yet. But I've been home about a week and a half, and I'm doing all the things, wrapping it, icing it, keeping it elevated, all that kind of stuff. It's getting better, but it's very slow. X-rays come back that it's not fractured, which is a good thing, but it certainly feels like one. I've fractured bones in my feet before, and it just feels like one. So I don't know whether it is or not. It doesn't matter. It's still healing. And the heart palpitations, at the EKG, they said I had something called PAC. It's premature atrial contractions or complexes or something. Anyway, my heartbeat is beating prematurely. And I kind of chuckle at that because it's fitting for me. Anyway, it's a temporary thing. It's not dangerous in and of itself. It's not it doesn't mean I'm going to have a heart attack or a stroke or anything like that, although some of those things are correlated with previous PAC. But get this, it can be brought on by extreme exercise. There you have it. And some nutritional gaps. So that is exactly what happened to me. Plus I had a low resting heart rate, which also could be brought on by extreme exercise. Excuse me. But so all of it fits, all of it makes sense. There's no heart damage, there's no long-term effect. It's just a huge slap in the face and a wake-up call, and a big wake-up call for me to stop being stupid and really pay attention to nutrition. Things like not only protein, which I'm really getting much better at, but things like calcium and magnesium and things like that. So I'm doing a ton more research about the nutrition thing. Before I just focused on food, having enough food, and I knew ramen noodles and mashed potatoes were not healthy, but I just thought, oh, well, that's what hikers eat, and I'll fill in here and there, and I'll eat really good when I get to town, and not enough. I just want this to be a real eye-opener for other people, especially of my advanced age. I'm not advanced, I'm middle-aged, right? Yeah, I'm going to live to 132. Anyway, I'm wiser now. And maybe some of you are too. I did have a complete physical and got a clean bill of health before I did this. And I am healthy anyway. I'm not on any prescriptions or have no ongoing health concerns or anything like that. So I thought I was good to go. I thought I knew what I was doing. Not. But I am, like I said, doing research and reading, and hold on. Nope. Thought the cat wanted to be in, but no. I'm wiser, and I'm doing things better. And not only the nutritional piece, which is huge, but I'm going to go about it a little differently when I get back on trail. Number one, I'm not climbing those big mountains 2 in a day up and over. That is just insane for me. To go up and over Blood Mountain, Sassafras and Blood Mountain in one day after, yeah, I started out with kind of high mileage from, well, not high mileage for me, but high in those conditions, because I did not fully appreciate how steep the mountains were, how high the mountains were. I had always heard about hikers doing 4,000 footers, like that was a thing, that was an accomplishment, that was a milestone, that was what serious hikers did, where I come from in Maine and New Hampshire. I mean, people who did this all the time went for the 4,000 footers, not someone like me. And here I was doing them, several of them. I still have a couple ahead of me when I get back on trail at Unicoi Gap. But I think the last one is in sight, FarOut. I forget the name of it, but FarOut. I did notice it said, this is the last of the 4,000 footers in Georgia. Like, yay. I will not go up and over 2 of those in a day. That's going to be different. Right out of the chute, I did 9.9 from Springer one day, and then 9.4, and then 8.9. You know, had some pretty decent back-to-back days, plus really tough climbs, and I just shouldn't have done that. I just shouldn't have. That's what they recommended at the little talk they give you at Springer Mountain before you go, when you get your hiker tag and all that kind of stuff. They suggest go from shelter to shelter. So that was kind of how I started out. But by the time I hit Neil's Gap coming off Blood Mountain, I should have taken a 0 there, but Neil's doesn't allow 2-night stay, one night only. So there's no way to take a 0 there. But that was the start of I did too much too fast, and then not having the proper nutrition. So I'm gonna get back on very soon, and I will keep you posted, and you'll be right with me. I do miss it. I miss the people. I miss the scenery. And the whole thing about hiking alone, I've kind of come to terms with that since I've been home. I think Jenny popping in with videos is going to be helpful to me, really, and keep you all up to date. And yeah, so I will see you back on trail. I will make a new friend like I did before. Made one, I can make another one, right? Anyway, for now, just very temporarily, neighbor is signing off.